Hello again everyone and welcome back to another installment of Poke Fodder. Today I put together a team, and today is the last day of the Dragon Gym Cup, but I put together a team of more regular characters. I know there's all EXs, mostly EXs, but I do have Dratini all the way up to Dragonite, which a lot of you or most of you probably have by this point. And so just kind of wanted to put Lucario, who I pulled out of a booster. I think he's great. I hate going up against him, quite honestly. So that makes it a good Pokemon. And I'm going to jump into battle with him. And quite honestly, this video, I've already recorded. I'm going to voice over the video. But the video today is actually going to show there are numerous mistakes that I make. And the reason why I'm showing it is because I'm not a perfect player. And I just want to show where my mistakes happen. And so maybe when you guys are playing and you see a similar situation, you can remember to make the correct play. So that's kind of what we're going to do. Standard opening, he moves Sliggoo, and I'm all about trying to evolve Dratini into Dragonite. So I believe... And when you have Dratini in this gym, or if you take him into league play, your entire goal should be throwing him out there, and I don't even use it, but throwing him out there and trying to get the evolution quick. I actually took, you know what? I think I took Railu, I did, and evolved him into Lucario. I had forgotten that I did that in this video. So now my Lucario, instead of having a 1-star purple move, he has a 2-star purple move. And instead of a 70 attack, an 80 attack. Really strong. And so I can go up against a lot of other Pokemon now with him. And I thought he was good at 1 star and 70. I think he's even better at 2 stars and 80. So, but during the video, remember that I am trying to get Dratini all the way up to Dragonite. So what I do is I will X-plate and attack, trying to get that evolution triggered. Super fortunate there. In all honesty, Dragonair probably should have beaten Mew, but I take that opportunity to run down and pinch his corner. And then here, I forget what he does next, but he's going to try to attack. And I survive because he obliterates me, but 140 and I roll the gold. So now I'm like, sweet, easy win. But then I'm, wait a minute, how come I can't get to his goal here? I can't figure this out. I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait, why can't I get to his goal? And then I remember Xerneas has that ability where he takes a 1 MP away from your Pokemon when they're adjacent to him. I have Xerneas, I don't use him, and I don't go up against him in a whole lot. So when you see Pokemon that you don't go up against a lot, the lesson there is go ahead and look to see what it is that their special abilities might be, because you never know. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. So I move back to the corner, seal off his entry point, and now I'm going to go ahead with my standard play of start pressing forward with Reshiram and Zekrom. Typically I'll use Zekrom on the back line. And there's that great Aurora Sphere there. But typically I'll use Reshiram to press, and then Zekrom more as a defensive Pokemon. So, give you some insight there. He's going to slide over. Now, here's the mistake I made. I rolled the gold, or the blue, which should have allowed me to move 2 spots. I should have moved right up next to Gabite on his turn, and then brought Reshiram over for this round kill, and that's game over. But I don't, and now Mew gets knocked out on the next turn. So that was a huge mistake that potentially could cost me the game. I'm going to go in. I know that he's not going to... I know that he can't with Gabite, he's not going to slide under me. And I wasted a plate because, again, Vibrava, you can't get past him. And you can't attack him. So I wasted a plate there. So 2 really, really big mistakes right off the bat. One of them would have ended the game. The second one was a waste of resources. So keep your eye out for things like that. And I've done it so many times that it's comical at this point of how many plates I've wasted during the Dragon Gym Cup. Just not even thinking that about Vibrava. I know he's there, but I'm thinking in my head, well, I'm not going after him. I'm going after someone else, and it still ends up being a waste. So now I'm kind of stuck. He's pressing forward. I've got no options but to cover up my goal. Although, if I do knock out Vibrava, then I'm in really good position. At the same time, Vibrava is probably going to roll purple, and Confusion can be deadly. Confusion's actually really good on Dratini because that turns his large 30 wheel into a large 80 or 81 if you have a chain level on him. So him being confused is not the worst thing in the world, but still, I get the fortunate spin, push him back to the back line, triggers my evolution, and now I'm just going to go press forward and try to capture the goal. Again, a very, very fortunate. He's probably going to land on purple. I'm most likely going to land on gold there. So it wasn't a terrible matchup, but whenever you do get the spins to come out the way like that, that's always fortunate. And I believe, yeah, that just leads to the forfeit. There's nothing else he can do. So my mistakes did not cost me, but I hope you can see where the mistakes were made and maybe you can avoid those moving forward. Jumping right into today's second match. I know I made mistakes in this one too. I don't remember off the top of my head what they were. Bring Zapdos out because basically if I roll the gold, Salamence cannot beat me. So that's a super good matchup right there. He's going to bring out Drudrigion. And I'm going to go... That's a good opportunity. Like in League Play, if you see these opportunities to trigger evolutions, if you're running evolution chains, you want to take advantage of mismatches. And with an X-Plate, all he has is a dodge and red and low attacks. So that's a pretty easy advantage to exploit. It's going to trigger my evolution. And things are looking good so far in this match. He's going to go back and play some defense. I think... I probably could have pushed forward and attacked with Zapdos there. That probably would have been the better play to put pressure on him without letting him set up his board. Here, I definitely should have used my overdrive plate on Reshiram. Since I had a mirror and I have chain levels, I could have made it so that he could not roll a spin that would beat me, but I didn't do that. And that gives him the opportunity to attack. And Reshiram is my strongest attacker. And so what happened is I left my strongest attacker vulnerable to getting knocked out. That's a pretty big mistake. And as you start climbing up the ranks and facing better players, they are going to exploit your weaknesses and your misplays. So that was definitely a misplay. on my part, because the only positive out of that is I did land the burn. So he's now got one of his attacks become misses. And here was another mistake that I feel like I made, because he's going to respin. I'm still going to get the victory. He didn't have anything that could beat me. The best he could hope for was Roost. But then I take Zapdos and put him on my point, which basically is going to render my Lucario useless. And now I'm going to have to backtrack moves all the way around to get him out, just to get him where Zapdos was. So that's several wasted moves when I could have just dropped Lucario up one spot and still had a presence on his entry point and on the inside of the board. So again, it's little details and little mistakes like that that could end up costing you games as you start progressing and getting further along and start facing stronger competition. And it doesn't matter what league, what rank you are, what team you're running. If you're running a full Deoxys team and you're not moving properly, you will get exploited. Like here, I take Mew and close off his entry point, but then I leave myself to get surrounded, and I don't have the benefit of having two Pokemon in the PC, so him getting surrounded would release a stronger Pokemon out into the field. And there are situations where if you do have a weaker Pokemon out on the field, then you can get surrounded and it'll release a stronger Pokemon onto the field, and that's actually beneficial. But as you can see here, by me getting surrounded, now I've put myself in a predicament of he's got my back end capped, and he's 2 moves from a surround kill. Pretty big mistake. Now luckily, I'm in a position where I can go after his goal to do the surround, but leaving Dratini out to be surrounded was a very easy play to avoid. So just keep things like that in mind. Always be cognizant of what's happening on your board. And look, he throws the long throw. I didn't look at his plates. Throws the long throw, blocks me from being able to do the surround kill. And now he's in really good position here. If he can get his Dragonite to survive an attack, which unfortunately for him, he does roll Sightseeing. I could have respun there, and I should have respun there. Again, I didn't look at his plates, so I didn't realize he had Goal Block. Had I respun, chances are, it's not guaranteed, but chances are I roll the gold that knocks him out completely. Where the way that I played it, I let the Sightseeing trigger, which took him out, and then he just used Goal Block to go right back. So now I have to beat him again. So several misplays here. This isn't, I get bailed out, quite honestly. I have really strong Pokemon who bail me out in this situation. But in general, if I'm going up against a stronger team and make mistakes like this, they're going to crush me. And so I want you guys to look for plays that maybe you're leaving on the board and see if you can't fix those. See if you can't tighten up your moves a little bit, and just look at the entire board. Make sure you know what plates they're running. Make sure you know what special abilities their Pokemon have, especially on Pokemon who you don't see often. And that'll help improve your game a lot. So that's going to do it for this installment. There is an update coming later tonight, and we will go over all the buffs, all the changes, all the new characters in tomorrow's video as long as they are out. And until next time.